Okay, let's do this thing. Monday Night Raw. I gotta say, a pretty good episode of Monday Night Raw in some sort of way, in its doses and whatnot. But a very somewhat, I don't want to say stacked Raw, but a couple of big things happening on this show. And this is actually a go home show. I don't think enough people acknowledge that tonight is a go home show before Extreme Rules, but it didn't really feel like a go home show, to be honest. Felt like just another episode of Monday Night Raw, but we do kick off things big. Well, of course, first we do have the title celebration for Big E, becoming the new WWE champion last week, as he came out and celebrated with the New Day and thanked everybody and whatnot. But, as people that chanted, "You deserved it." And, talk about how people lost their minds when he became the WWE champion. There was one thing that I'm sure everybody heard Big E say. He wanted to thank everyone below the heavens and one very special friend up above, which everybody did know. He was talking about Brody Lee. He was really good friends with him, and fans did chant Brody after that. So that was a very cool shout out and whatnot. I did like that. That was very nice to hear. Biggie paid tribute to Brody there real quick. But Biggie basically talking about, we got town business. We got with the Usos and Roman up tonight. And, he knows that the bloodline is going to be packing and everything. But, fans chanted New Day rocks and whatnot. Basically, right after that, Roman Reigns' music hit. Him, the Usos, and Paul Heyman came out. Then basically having a stare down between, Big E and Reigns as they're talking shit back and forth. This is a very big way to kick off the show. I actually thought this match was going to be the main event since they were hyping it up for the past couple days online. And, I got to say, at one point, Roman just killed Kofi, just throwing him off the, turnbuckle. The pole outside. You know what I'm talking about. Just throwing him to the turnbuckle, the post and whatnot. I thought he killed him for a second. He just ragged on him and thrown him across the table and whatnot. But this was a very good six-man to kick off the show. And some would say they should have waited to this match until Survivor Series, especially if it was going to be a team versus team thing, or just Big E versus Roman. Obviously, they're kind of giving you a preview right here, so it's not giving away much. But as the match went on, Bobby Lashley came out, basically took out everybody from Big E to the Usos to the rest of the New Day, and which Woods was distracted what Lashley was doing. Reigns speared him. Reigns got the win, but then right after, Lashley ended up spearing Reigns then, which I actually have like, oh shit, he speared Reigns. I'm like, okay, that's pretty big. And then he speared Big E through the timekeeper's area. So at least Lashley's still going to be looking strong right now, especially after losing the WWE Championship last week. And with, MVP being gone for a minute. I know this was a rib injury. Obviously, it's his knee injury and whatnot. Don't know when MVP is going to be back in the fold and whatnot. Oh, great. Now I got a phone call. So I always get a phone call during these shows. Sorry, I hate when I always get phone calls during these reviews. That always just messes up the flow of things. Every time you get a phone call, every time you do a review, I don't understand that sometimes. But like I said, with not Big E, but Bobby Lashley destroying everybody, Bobby Lashley went backstage and basically said, Big E cashed in on him while he was hurt and whatnot. And he says, I'm still the real champion around here. And he said he would beat Big E or Roman Reigns in a singles match, saying he basically wanted any of them. He doesn't care who's first. Bring them on. Randy Orton was in the back, of course, and listening to whatever he was listening on his headphones or whatnot. Riddle came in, talked about Skipper, which is AJ, and, basically, I guess he's going one-on-one with him tonight. So Orton, basically, told him just keep almost busy and whatnot. Eva Marie came out then to face Doudrop again, which Eva Marie started again on the mic, talking about, she's not one for shaming, but she said that she's put together and that Doudrop is a mess and that girls like you can never beat women like me. And I don't know why we really need to see this match again. Listen, we all know Eva Marie is very horrible in the ring. Doudrop won, so this really didn't go that long. But then again, why did we need to see this again? And what did this really prove here? Big E was in the back then, basically saying he wants Lashley and Reigns tonight. Also, Paul Heyman saying that, Lashley and Big E come here yelling and bitching and whatnot to the tribal chief. So basically, triple threat match tonight: Big E, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley. That's a match you say for pay-per-view, if you ask me, especially with a showdown like that. And I'm gonna say something near the end, which I feel like I'm sure people really wish this would have happened too. This would have been a great idea. But next, AJ Styles went against Randy Orton. that was a great match. I enjoyed that match. Very good. I did like the ending, where even though we kind of seen it before with, AJ going for the phenomenal forearm, and then Orton's gonna go for the RKO, but they end up stopping because we seen the whole fake out thing and whatnot, or just AJ jumping in, land into an RKO in the past. Of course, they did the pointing thing. Just I'm sure everybody looked at it as like the Spider-Man meme and whatnot, where they point back at each other. Kind of, okay, I dodged your move and you dodged my move, or, copy and whatnot. But Orton ended up getting AJ in, hit him with the draping DDT, and right after RKO for the win. So, that was a very good match. I enjoyed that. Next, Nia Jax went against Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler basically destroyed Nia Jax out there. Some people thought it was a shoot for some reason, but Baszler ended up choking out Nia Jax, and a lot of yelling, though, they kept doing. You want some of me, you want some of me, and whatnot. And Baszler won, but right after, Baszler started kicking Nia Jax onto the floor then, kicking her in her arm, and, she just gets on top of the steel steps and telling Baszler, please don't do this, don't do this. Baszler looked very conflicted then for some reason. And then she ended up stomping on Nia Jax's arm, which she looked like a dying seal out there, some would say. Just screaming, hollering in pain, just the agony of it and whatnot. I would say both of them are heels, but obviously Jax has been a heel for a minute. They've been trying to make it look really strong, and Baszler just has kind of been around, but at least this almost somewhat looked like this Shayna Baszler of NXT, looking like a dominant badass and whatnot, and just murdering Nia Jax out there, just murder. Next, Mustafa Ali and Mansoor went against Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. I didn't know why both of these two were teamed up, but since they are cousins and whatnot, they are now a team together. I'm kind of liking what I see. That's not bad. This could work. I did like the finish. I didn't think they would have Mustafa and Mansoor lose right here, but Humberto and Garza, okay, they kind of caught my attention. So we'll see what happens. Next, Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash came out, basically promoting and talking about Connor's cure and whatnot. I know some would say Rhea Ripley may have, missed her lines. It was messing up out there. I think she probably was just really emotional about it, the whole Connor's cure thing, and, what the company does for our organization and whatnot. So I think she was just kind of more emotional than just forgetting her lines out there, as a lot of people say. I think it really meant something to her out there. So, they said they dedicate this match to this kid, to the kids or anyone that's affected by pediatric cancer and whatnot, and even just putting up a big V sign for everybody in victory, which honestly just kind of told me they were going to win the tag team titles right here in general, which they did win the tag team titles, which, I sit there, I think it's kind of funny, how many times did Shotzi and Tegan Knox just fuck them, by the way? It's like, hey, they beat them 3 times in a row, but they never got a title shot. But, what? Ripley and Nikki Ash beat them how many times? Twice? 3 times? Even in singles matches? And I feel like Tamina and Natalya, they just kind of got fucked over too, because it's like, come on, they kept losing to everybody. So why should they even still be the champions at this point? If they're just going to take L after L after L after L after L. So, after, I just figured, like, when them promoting the Connor's Cure thing, that already gave it away. They were winning the tag team titles. So we'll see how that goes. Next, Alexa Bliss was out there for her, what is it, the Playhouse thing and whatnot. And, Charlotte Flair came out then, which... I'll just say this right now. Hey, they're playing those Ric Flair commercials again right now. That was pretty fast. How long was that? What, 2-3 days or whatnot? So, hey, fuck you, cancel culture. I'm not surprised by that, but I think he did put out a statement today. But I'm not going to get into the whole dark side of the ring thing right now and whatnot. But Charlotte was out there saying, I don't want the doll. I want the old Bliss back. The 5 Feet of Fury, the Mean Girl. The competitor, I don't know about that part, the championship material Bliss. So, man, you may have everyone fooled at home, but you can't fool me and whatnot, okay? I know what you're going to do. You're just very fragile out here right now. And, you used to walk to the ring with a title in your arm. Now you walk with a doll in your arm and whatnot. You feel like the doll is more popular than you and whatnot and stuff. But Flair says, I know what the mind games are. You know, you went from headlining WrestleMania 35, um, you know, now playing dolls and whatnot. I don't know. She main event WrestleMania 35, or headlining it. Don't know about that, but Flair basically said, I said, listen, I've almost been a superhero. I've been a nightmare. I've now I'm gonna beat a grown ass woman who dresses like a kid. And now it's going to make my job to beat some sense into you, okay? And I'm going to retain this title, Extreme Rules. But Bliss says, everyone gets it. Yes, you are the best. You won more titles than any other woman. But how many times have you lost those titles also, okay? Because you are nothing without the title, all right? And, you don't know who you are and whatnot. Because, Bliss, I don't have to play mind games to expose your insecurities and whatnot. You're terrified of losing that title because you're nothing then after that. You're nothing. It's not even originally yours. And Flair said, let's not talk about originality, which is kind of funny with both of them talking about originality. With Bliss, she's basically doing Bray Wyatt's gimmick, and Charlotte has just been basically Ric Flair #2. I've said that for as long as she's been here. So I don't know what both of them are talking about originality. You're kind of both basically copying off of two people's gimmicks right now. But Bliss says, I'm giving you the Dawn because of pity. Because everyone, even a self-centered bitch like you deserve happiness and whatnot. And call it crazy, but, that's just who you are, all right? And, you call it crazy all night, but you're going to call me champ at Extreme Rules. And listen, the doll was over, fast chanted Charlie, but Charlotte laughed at her and whatnot. And then they started kind of had a brawl for a second. Charlotte destroyed the doll then, ripping its head off. But Bliss ended up fighting back, with a big tornado DDT. And then, Charlotte rolled out of the ring then. So, at least the promo wasn't that bad and whatnot. But that originality line, I thought it was kind of funny there at the same time. Apparently, Rockstar Spud here is now doing Ocean's 15 or Ocean's 11, 12. I don't know what movie it is at this point. But now he has a plan with R-Truth Tozawa and Drew Gulak to get the belt off of Reginald, which obviously this plan did not work in execution again. Basically, it's just Reginald just jumping over everybody to avoid him, and they got away. Jeff Hardy came out to go against Sheamus. If Jeff Hardy wins this match, he will be added to the Triple Threat U.S. title match at Extreme Rules. Priest was out there on commentary. Good match. I don't know why they just gonna have Jeff go over clean with the Swanton, but Sheamus, put his knees up, but Jeff ended up rolling him up. Then Sheamus, man, made you want to keep that mask on, especially when you're taking out a nosebleed out there again. Sheamus and Priest ended up brawling with each other then before, referees and stuff pulled the ringside. Maybe Jeff Hardy most likely is going to be taking a pin this Sunday now that I think about it. At least he's in a better and bigger match and, not chasing the 24/7 belt, but I think he's just obviously there to take the pinfall and whatnot. In the main event, though, which I think this was the best thing of the night, damn near, Big E, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, triple threat match. Man, this was great to watch. I enjoyed this. I actually thought Bobby Lashley was going to win at several points in time, but it's like, obviously, he's going to be the one taking the pinfall. None of the champions are going to be taking the L right here between both Big E and Roman Reigns. So, obviously, one of the champions got to go over. But I was like, man, when he got speared him, I kind of thought he was going to win it on Roman and whatnot. Like, Bobby was beast mode out there, just putting people through tables and stuff. But, Big E coming back with the big ending and everything on Reigns. But Lashley ended up breaking it up again. Then, Lashley took a chair and beat the hell out of Big E with it. Reigns speared him and won the match. So I enjoyed this main event. The fans seemed to enjoy it. They said this is awesome. So I like that. What a bad show, I should say. But just like I said, with the beginning and end, and everybody kind of working double duty tonight, that wasn't bad. There was some stuff in the show I didn't really need to see on here in general, like even Marie and Doudrop. Why did I need to see this again? AJ and Randy was pretty good. The Baszler Jax thing, I guess, I don't know if Baszler's a face, but Nia Jax screaming like a dying seal out there. I don't know what can really go with that. A dying seal or a beached whale or something. Humberto and Garza as a team, we'll see what happens. New tag champions, not surprised at all. Definitely not surprised. I will say this also before I go. For a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, have they at least announced one Extreme Rules match or anything extreme about this pay-per-view? This just looks like a regular pay-per-view. You might as well just call it regular rules. Why call it Extreme Rules? No type of, stipulation matches or anything. Just, just regular matches. Nothing about it is extreme. I'm at least they're not calling it the horror show like they did last year with, taking out people's eyeballs or doing swamp matches again and whatnot. So, at least we're not seeing that. But still, not one Extreme Rules match was announced for this pay-per-view. Anything looks extreme? Nothing. It's just like a regular pay-per-view. You might as well not even call it Extreme Rules. Like I said, call it regular rules. Just call it something else, but don't call it Extreme Rules if it's nothing about it's going to be extreme. Nothing. Okay, nothing. So, what's really extreme about this pay-per-view coming up? Like I said, this felt like a regular episode of Raw. Not a go-home show. But, hey, pay-per-views is Sunday, so we'll see what happens. But, other than that, though, that is my review of Monday Night Raw. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodNight890. Tell me what you think about the show in general. Same old, same old. I've already said what I've said. So, yeah, check out any other review that is up online right now. And I will see you tomorrow night for NXT, okay? So, see you then. I'm out.